Universal just confirmed that brand new interactive wand experiences are coming to Epic Universe, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Ministry of Magic, and Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. And they are taking guest immersion to a whole new level. Hello everybody, welcome. Today we are going to talk about everything that we know about these brand new interactive wands and experiences, as well as when you can buy them. And we'll talk about some other possible planned features that we can expect, like wand dueling and even an interactive wand attraction. Universal just confirmed that their new second generation wands are coming to Place Cachet at Epic Universe and Ministry of Magic. We're also going to be getting them for Islands of Adventure at Hogsmeade and Universal Studios Diagon Alley. Now, we have been reporting on these brand new wands and experiences for months now, and it is finally confirmed. To start, we have 4 brand new wands. Very likely there will be a lot more coming in the future. Our expectation is that they are going to start to convert some of the existing wands into this new interactive wand. So we can expect to see specific wands like Sirius Black's wand convert into this new interactive wand. But right now we only have news on 4 brand new wands. You can purchase these new wands starting March 1st in all of the Universal stores that sell these wands, places like Ollivander's Wand Shop and different locations. And of course, Cosme Acajor in Epic Universe when it opens. Now, what's really interesting to me is that the visuals and the pictures that we're getting of these wands, they don't show the triangular boxes. We've been talking about for a while that Cosme Acajor, which is the brand new store opening in Ministry of Magic, is going to sell these exquisite new wands, these French wands, from the French Quarter Place Cachet, which is basically the world of wizards and witches in the Fantastic Beasts universe. And all of the imagery, all the visuals, things that we've been getting for a while now have had these triangular shaped boxes that these new exquisite wands made by Cosme Acajor are going to be in. But we also know that Cosme Acajor is also expected to sell the British Ministry of Magic wands as well. What's interesting is that these brand new 4 wands don't have either of the boxes. They don't use the old British Ministry of Magic boxes, and they don't use these new triangular shaped boxes. They use this sort of special, new, exclusive, custom box for these 4 new interactive wands. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes going forward, and if that means that they're going to keep their previous generation wands around for a little bit longer. We don't have news yet on whether or not the new wands that are going to be sold at Cosme Acajor in these triangular boxes are all going to be these new second generation wands or not. I expect to hear more about that in the coming months. So let's talk about these new wands and what you're going to be able to do with them. First, they're going to have rechargeable batteries. You're basically going to be able to recharge these wands. The old interactive wands use very little power, so they last a long period of time. It's kind of like the old Magic Bands at Disney. They have a battery in them, and that battery, it doesn't do a ton of things, so the battery lasts for years. These new wands, just like the new Magic Band Plus over at Disney, because they have lighting, they light up, they vibrate, the battery burns in those things much quicker. They may only last a day or 2. So you're going to need to wait to be able to recharge them like you can the Magic Band Plus. So these new wands will have a rechargeable feature to them, as they have new features like the ability to light up and vibrate. So you get this sort of like haptic, tactile feedback when you do a spell, to where the wand itself will vibrate. It will vibrate in different patterns to let you know whether or not you're doing a spell successfully. Different spells will have different vibrations. The lighting will depend on the spells that you're having. You can also customize the lighting, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So the lighting and the vibration that is in the wands is going to really consume the battery quickly, so you're going to have to be able to recharge them. So that's some really cool new features that are happening with these wands. These wands will also connect with the Universal Orlando Resort app, and in that Universal app will be a Universal Play feature. Each of these wands is expected to come with a map of Universal and the different locations that you can use these wands and interact with these wands and experiences that are happening, as well as information on how to download and install and pair your wand with your Universal app. So in order to use these wands, similar to the Magic Band Plus and the Super Nintendo power-up bands there, you will need to download the Universal Resort app, and you will need to pair your wand with that app. Once you have the wand paired with your app, you will be able to create a profile for yourself as a wizard or a witch. This will include your wizard name that you want to have, your avatar, what Hogwarts house you want to be part of, and your Patronus. This profile in this app will track everything that you do, and it will create a much more personalized experience for you. We're expecting personalized lighting on your particular wand and different spell effects, colors, and patterns that will be on these screens that you're interacting with in the park. In addition, you will be able to level up your profile. So as a wizard, you will be able to level yourself up. Basically, by doing certain things, getting certain achievements, you will get stronger and stronger and be a more confident wizard. There will be lots of different achievements in here. Things like, did you defeat the Dementor? If you've defeated the Dementor, that will check off and you will level up as a wizard. Now, this is important because the higher level you get as a wizard or a witch, the more access to different spells that you'll get and the more adventures that you can go on, because some of the adventures require you to be a higher level. This is a really interesting feature because it takes it out of the sort of simplistic, I'm just doing one particular sort of spell in front of a window and it does some cool thing, to something where it's gamified to the point where you're actually trying to level up your character, get access to new things so that you can go around the park and do those new things also, which I think is a really cool way to keep it engaging, keep it fun, and really bring some longevity to this system. Now, it also says you'll be able to do things like maybe pranks. I don't know what pranks really means. It could mean something like the water effect that you have there in Diagon Alley, where you can cast a spell and the fountain actually spits water and tries to hit people with it, or if it'll be something different. But I love that you can use this not just for like being a powerful wizard, but also to play pranks on your friends. Part of this experience also is that you can add friends and colleagues and people that you know into your list, and you can kind of compare yourself to them, see where they're at, see who has a higher score for the day. And throughout the day, you're going to be winning points for your house. Just like in the films, it's all house related. You're competing against the other houses. Who's going to win the house cup for the year? And this allows you to really be part of that. So you got to be careful. You got to think about, what house do I want to be a part of? Because I'm going to be battling it out with other people, and my score is going to go to that total, and we're going to try and win the day. Now, we know there will be leaderboards all over the park, so there will be leaderboards, physical, digital signage that show the leaderboards and which house is in the lead throughout the day. There's also personal top 10 wizards for the day. You'll be able to see those things like on the app and see, where am I at it? Am I on that top 10 list for points and things? And one of the things that hasn't been said is, will this affect the nighttime show there at Wizarding World in Hogsmeade? The nighttime lights at Hogwarts Castle, if you don't know, recently, over the past like 6 months or a year or so, they made a change to it to where the end of the show, it shows which house won the cup. And the whole thing will like light up red or green or whatever, and basically be this big celebration for whichever house won the cup for the day. Now, that's on sort of a random rotation right now, so every time you go to see the show, you'll see who won, and it's just random. You don't know what it's going to be, but I'm curious to see if this gets tied to this leaderboard and who ends up actually winning the house, and then that particular version will run in the park on the nighttime show. So whichever house is in the lead at the time that the show is starting or plays might be what actually shows up up there on Hogwarts Castle. I think that could be really cool, sort of like to top it off the day. So you're part of Gryffindor and you've been working all day trying to get those points up, and your house wins, and then you finish off the night by watching the Hogwarts show on Hogwarts Castle there, and it shows all in red with everything exploding and a big party that that Gryffindor won the House Cup. I think that's a really cool thing. So hopefully we get that. They haven't announced that, but I keep wondering if that's why they added all these different variations in, so that it would make way for this experience to happen in the park. Could be really cool. As I mentioned earlier, the Patronus is another really cool thing I think that they've added. So this ability to be able to select what basically your spirit animal is going to be as your wizard. You can choose what you want your Patronus to be. If you remember from the films, each character had their own animal version of the Patronus, and you'll be able to select that for your character, so that when you're interacting, and for example, when you're trying to defeat the Dementor, your Patronus will visibly show up on the screen there and battle it out with that Dementor. You can see in the video here, it's some sort of like bird creature that's flying around for that person's Patronus. In this image over here, it looks like kind of a dolphin is the animal that was selected there. So I think this is a really cool personalization feature. Now, we know there will be 5 brand new interactive experiences that will fully take into account these new second generation wands. So they are built specifically to do everything that you want to do with those second gen wands. We've been talking about it for a while, these sort of like screens and these LEDs, OLED transparent screens that will enable these sort of effects to happen instead of it just being sort of like, you know, moving gears and things and water spurting. It will be a digital interactive screen. You'll be able to see things like your wand effect going off and shooting, or a Dementor sort of popping on the screen and your Patronus flying out and sort of attacking it. So it's like really digital, interesting display, which is transparent against a background. We've been talking about that technology coming very soon, and I'm glad to say it has happened and we now are getting them. Now, the 5 locations that you're getting the full benefit of your new interactive wands, there's 2 of them in Hogsmeade and 3 of them in Diagon Alley. The first location is the Dueling Club tent, and this is where you'll be able to bring a dueling dummy to life and basically battle against it. I'm going to talk more about that one in just a bit because that is an important one. The next one in Hogsmeade is the Owl Post, where there will be pixies basically flying around and hiding and things in this window, and you're supposed to try to freeze those pixies. Then we've got 2 in Nocturne Alley. We've got the Nocturne Alley staircase that I think everybody is familiar with. It's got that sort of gate right in front of it, and there's a staircase. That's where essentially the Dementor and Patronus battle is going to take place. Again, really cool, using that transparent screen there, being able to show like a Dementor sort of floating in that space with the real world all around it, kind of an augmented reality, and being able to sort of throw your Patronus out there and battle with it. I think that one's going to be really cool. It's going to be really dark in there for Nocturne Alley. That's probably going to be one of the best. The other one in Nocturne Alley is the sky above you. One of the coolest things of Nocturne Alley for me is just that sky up there. It just looks phenomenal. I love it. And apparently there's going to be this sort of big storm rolling in, probably from a bad wizard spell. And you're going to be able to sort of control that storm and create a calm sky up above you. I think that's really neat. And then the last one is Ariadne's Spinners over there in Diagon Alley, which is where a bunch of spiders are going to be crawling all over the windows and newspapers and things, and you're supposed to basically stop them. So those are the big 5 new experiences at Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley. That will bring us to 30 interactive wand experiences between those 2 parks. The other 25 will be the existing experiences, which have apparently also been up-leveled. We've been talking about it for a while, where they've been installing new things. They've been sort of putting walls up around existing experiences and improving the interactions and putting new things there. And we've been speculating that that means that they're going to be up-leveling and improving the experiences for these new interactive wands, and it appears that is the case. So even the old experiences are going to have more improved interactive experiences, some visual spell effects that you'll be able to see, as well as these new and improved spell books to help you cast your spells. Now, what they did not give us yet is the locations and how many of them there will be for Epic Universe once it opens. Now, assuming that all of the locations, all of the experiences in Epic Universe, the Ministry of Magic there, I think those are all going to be these new interactive experiences specifically for the new wands. Now, that does not mean that you can't use the old wands in these experiences. My assumption is that the old interactive wands are going to work at a certain level for the majority of these experiences, just like they work for the other 25. You're going to be able to still interact with them. You just may not get the full benefit of what you would be getting with the new wands. So now I want to switch gears and talk about wand dueling. This was missing from the announcement. I'm a little bit surprised. They didn't mention anything really about wand dueling. We've been speculating for quite a while about the ability to duel with other wizards and witches. A couple of weeks ago, I talked about the bubble wand experiences there in Universal Studios, being able to interact with one bubble wand and another bubble wand, which again is sort of like the foundation for being able to maybe duel with 2 interactive wands against each other. But we didn't get any announcement on the ability to duel with these wands. However, what we did get, which is starting to get there, is they mentioned joining the Dueling Club. Now, this is important, and the wording here is also important. The Dueling Club is the same name of the Dueling Club in Hogwarts Legacy. This is the big Hogwarts video game that's out there, sort of open world Harry Potter game. And there is a dueling club that you can join in that game. And that is where you sort of level up, you compete against other wizards. And as part of the dueling club and around the Hogwarts Legacy world, there are dueling dummies. That's specifically what they are called, dueling dummies. And these dueling dummies are the same things that are referenced in this announcement that they talk about in that one particular experience. As I mentioned, one of the interactive experiences in Hogsmeade is called the Dueling Club Tent. And in that is a dueling dummy, a dormant dueling dummy that you can bring to life and basically practice your spells on. This is where you can test your dueling ability, and that specifically is what they are used for in Hogwarts Legacy. They are dueling dummies that you can interact with, you can practice your dueling, you can test out new spells and things on these dummies, and that is what we're getting in this particular interactive experience. Not only that, these dummies basically look the same as well. Just the appearance of these dummies looks very similar to what is in Hogwarts Legacy. So though we didn't get an official announcement on wand dueling, it looks like this is the first step in being able to duel with other wizards and witches. Which brings us to some speculation and some things that I'm expecting to hear more about in the coming months, either before Epic Universe opens or maybe shortly after. I do believe that at some point we're going to get this wand dueling sort of experience, but there's also the possibility we're going to get a wand experience and basically a wand attraction. At one point they were planning and they were even creating diagrams and things around an attraction that would allow you to actually duel with other people, or an interactive attraction where the wands would be used on the attraction. So I think that is very possible we may be getting something like that, perhaps as the second Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic attraction that we've said is so sorely missing right now. Again, I said they built a facade for it. They didn't add that second attraction yet. We know it's coming at some point, and it very well could have some sort of interaction with those wands. I know a lot of people like to pull out their wand in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, even on some of the attractions, and sort of wave it around and spin it, even though you're not really supposed to. Some people do that. So I think an attraction where you can use your wand on the attraction could be really cool. We'll see if we get that, or if we get some sort of dueling interactive experience where you can kind of cast spells at each other and these lighting effects and things happen. I think we may hear something about that. Now, we also know that officially in Place Cache, the Wizarding World Ministry of Magic over there in Epic Universe, we do know that they have recorded tons of little vignettes, audio vignettes, basically interactions that will be playing all throughout the land. You can imagine them being in like storefronts or behind doors and things like that. And even during these wand experiences, they've recorded all these little vignettes of people talking and having conversations and saying things. Now, what I've been speculating could be really interesting that they might do at some point in the future is personalize these little vignettes. Imagine if you're sort of talking to a portrait, maybe at one of those talking portraits or moving portraits that's in the Wizarding World. Or maybe you're talking to someone, or you're casting a spell, or you're waving your wand around in front of a window. You might get a personalized response, or maybe you're just walking by and it recognizes your wand and that you're a level 15 wizard, and it calls you out as being like a master wizard, like hello master wizard, like customized responses. And maybe it could even give you a personalized message with your name, whatever your wizard name is. Similar to Magic Kingdom, if you've ever been to Magic Kingdom, you've ridden It's a Small World, there is a personalized message where it basically says goodbye to you on the screen. It'll say like goodbye Steve, or goodbye Candy. It'll say your name specifically on the screen. So I think that's really cool. It could do something similar here. It potentially could even do that in an attraction, give you a personalized experience or personalized message in the attraction based on who you are as a wizard, what house you're in, and what level you are. I think that could be really awesome. So that's all speculation, rumor. Not sure if it's going to come to fruition, but I think it could be really cool, and the possibilities are just endless. So that being said, this is just the beginning. This is the first big confirmation we've got of these new experiences. I'm so excited for it. I'm glad we were right on the money with what we've been speculating, we've been talking about for months. So I'm just curious to hear from you. What do you think? Again, this is just the beginning. There's so much more coming, and I'd love to hear from you. Are you excited about these wands? Do you think they're really cool? Are you gonna run out and buy one immediately? Again, March 1st. A couple of days, you can buy them immediately and start using them in the parks. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Are you excited? Are you ready for Epic? I'm ready for Epic. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends and everybody you know. It really helps out my channel, and just want to tell you thanks again for watching. Until I see you next time, Noble Way is the easy way. Bye-bye, everybody.